I am still amazed you can create oddities in an FPS. Creative Squad, despite its weirdness, is quite an amazing game for an FPS game. Despite the genre felt quite saturated with Call of Duties, Battlefield, it's quite great the indie developers make the genre still fresh, and especially for this game, Fashion Police Squad or FPS for short, nice acronym there. Developed by Mobful Games, a small indie dev with FPS as their first game in the making. After playing the beta for the game, I got a lot of things to say about the game. No, it's not a prank about how terrible you dress and people have to call the fashion police. It's actually a real game with the whole objective is to arrest those people who broke the fashion code by difference mean and see them to do the work. I have to thank for the dev sending the code for the beta. There is also the demo available on Steam right now, and I do recommend trying it out since both the beta and the demo are the same, and yes, I did play both the beta and the demo, and theirs are both the same, so you don't miss too much about it. Let's dress up and see what the game's got it. The story is very simple. You play as a Sergeant Des, as the fashion crimes skyrocket like, oh my god, hello, fashion police? I need to report a fashion murder. My mother was murdered by someone using a sock in her sandals. Damn, this game don't screw around with the fashion issue. Look, I may not be the fashion type, but even I have a common sense not using sock in her sandals. Oh wait, it's a game, whoops. Let's move on. As I stated in the beginning of the video, Fashion Police Squad is a FPS, but you are not going to murder people, rip limbs of demons and go fast. Instead, your job is to put those lawbreakers as proper fashion dress. I know, it's ridiculous, but it's actually quite fun to blast paint on a black suit, and I know it's the beta. Yeah, I do like the enemy presentation every time you meet the first time. They have their own short introduction with what kind of crime are. Ah, crap. FBI, open up! Look, it's not my fault that my belt makes my pants drop, even I push its limit. This is actually one of the few games that really force to switch weapon. As the game progresses, you have to use different weapons or use alternative fire mods. Even if you have only 4 enemies types, it does show off the intensity of the combat. Once the game will release, I gotta say, I do hope the enemies you need to use different weapons combo to put them down. You start with your paint shotgun. Okay, that was a good one. That's allowed to paint the suits and later painting the billboard. It also have a secondary mod that uses a laser to absorb the colors. Useful for draining the red hydrants, regaining your ammo for the gun, but also for the flashy enemies. Then we have the sewing rifle. To tailor the size of suits, that's pretty much it, how you use it. Keep in mind, it's a short demo. And finally, the last is your belt. You can use to break crates to get life or armor. In this game, it's a bow tie and watch. Oh dear. If you charge enough, you can stun your enemies temporarily. If you got lucky, you can stun more enemies, which I will say, it's not even worth the risk since the area of the belt is not quite huge. You ended up taking more damage that it's worth the risk. And the belt can be used as a grappling. I won't lie, I quite enjoy a bit too much that it's supposed to be. The belt is not the only weapon that I have an issue. The paint shotgun, it's troubling me. I understand the further away you get, the less damage the enemy get. But if you go closer approach, you may think you might get a one-shot kill, but it doesn't make an instant arrest, which is making no sense. I do hope they fix it when they can release it. Des have a special ability when he gets his fabulous meter to 100%, but you have to arrest the criminal to increase it. And when you got it, Des do this. By the power of bitch life, they all dress fabulous. Whether you're fabulous mode, you're invisible for a short period, so have fun giving those guys a nice hard bitch slap. I just hope this ability isn't always going to be activated in the end of the levels, since so far you always use it in the last part of the level, but I gotta say, it's enjoyable to use it. I know it's just a demo, but I do hope they had a difficulty setting to the game, or the game's getting hard when progressing. Since it felt a bit too easy the only time I felt the need to be more cautious was during the boss fight, but even that the game was too generous on the health during the fight. I hope the entire game won't be like that, or else it will be quite too easy, frankly. I gotta say, I am surprised the graphic is quite well done. It gave the city vibe and also the old school art style. If you play a game like Duke Nukem or Iron Fury, it does remind me of the build engine, but it's not. The whole game was made in Unity. Not that I'm complaining it, but it's quite shame I didn't use the build engines. I do believe it will be more awesome. Heck, Iron Fury was the recent game used that engine, and look how amazing it is. Maybe the dev did plan to do that, but some game mechanic could not be working on the engine, and that's why they have to switch to the Unity engine? I really don't know, but I did have a gag about Jimen's Leaf and Civi, but after a moment, I realized the joke isn't quite funny at all. Shame, but maybe one day we'll do another joke on them, or not. Since the game was about fashion, I did quite enjoy how they parodied the Boss brand, which is quite shameful that they did not stick with Boss name, but maybe due copyright. I might understand. I do hope we have more parodies of other clothing brands, like Zara be like Laura, or maybe Gap become Gasp. Heck, I'd be disappointed if there's no boss fight based on the Lady Gaga meat dress. I may not fan of pop music or fashion, but goddamn that dress is not a fashion terrorism, if that even a thing. I do have one single nitpicky, and that's the advertise board, especially the one you paint back. It's just too lazy to reuse the single ads all the time, and I really worry me if once the game's release is going to be the same thing for each different brands. Just use one brand's ads, that's it, compared to the ones you got to paint. At least 2 or out of 3 are different. Maybe something like keep your clothing fabulous, or maybe something like color is life, color is love, or be fashion, be fabulous. FPS show you have quite a lot of potential to be a good game. If the devs show the dress right for the Steam Runway 2022, I believe the game is going to be quite a fashion success. Until then, I do recommend to play the demo right now. This is Doc Voltaire signing off, and don't forget, always respect the dressing code and keep yourself be fabulous.
Oh, hell no, I ain't wearing that.
I am the king of the world, baby.